Hi everyone, welcome to my channel by Science Guide. Today the topic is alimentary canal of digestive system of human being. Do you know the digestive system of human being? Digestive system of human being is concerned with the ingestion, digestion of food, absorption, assimilation of digested food and elimination of undigested food. The digestive system of human being comprises into alimentary canal, digestive gland, and process of digestion. Alimentary canal is a long, tubular, varying diameter, muscular structure. The alimentary canal, which starts from mouth and ends into the anus. The alimentary canal, which is differentiated into mouth, buccal chamber or oral chamber, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. The alimentary canal of human being, which is shown as diagrammatically, mouth, which is the first part of alimentary canal. It is a transverse opening. It is known as the anterior part of oral cavity. It is divided into two parts, vestibule and buccal chamber or buccal cavity. Vestibule, which is a slit-like space surrounded by upper lip, lower lip and cheeks. The buccal cavity, which is the posterior part of mouth, which is a large wide cavity, consists palate, tongue and teeth. The roof of the buccal cavity is called palate. The palate are divided into anterior palate and posterior palate. The anterior palate, which is hard, and the posterior palate is soft. The hard palate, which has ridges called reugi, the reugi helps to hold the food during mastication, and the soft palate has a small conical muscular flap called uvula. The uvula closes the internal nostril while we swallowing food. The soft palate, which helps to swallowing the food easily. Tongue, it is a large muscular organ present in the buccal chamber. It is flattened and protrusible organ. The tongue, which is erased at the base of buccal chamber called frenulum. Tongue consists a smaller projection on its surface called papillae, and papillae consist taste bud. The papillae are of three types: valate, filiform, and fungiform. The valate papillae, which are found at the base of the tongue, the filiform papillae, which are found at the center, and the fungiform papillae are present at the tip and the margin of tongue. Teeth, which are present on the both jaw in human being. Teeth are associated in the jaw socket, so they are called thecodont. In human being, two types or two set of teeth are present. So, in human being, two set of teeth are present called diphyodont, milk teeth and permanent teeth. The milk teeth, which are in 20 in number, they are also called deciduous teeth. They are replaced by permanent teeth at the age of 6 to 18, and the permanent teeth, which are 32 in number. Besides them, the wisdom teeth, which is also found in human being, it is also known as third molar, and it is developed at the age of 20 years. The teeth are different shape and size in human being called heterodont. The teeth are in 4 in different forms: incisor, canine, premolar, and molar. The second part of the alimentary canal is called pharynx. Pharynx, which is differentiated into nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. The nasopharynx, which is the anterior or upper part of the pharynx, and it is linked with the nasal aperture through the internal nostrils and with ear through the eustachian tube. The oropharynx, which is the mid region of pharynx, it is known as a common passage for air from nose to trachea and food from oral cavity to esophagus. The laryngopharynx, which is the lower part of pharynx, it has two openings, glottis and gullet. The glottis, it is the opening of air, and gullet, which is the opening of food. The glottis and gullet, which are separated by a flap of elastic cartilage, is called epiglottis. The third part of the alimentary canal is known as esophagus. Esophagus is a long, narrow, muscular food pipe. Its wall consists mucous gland and the esophagus, which help the food push down into the stomach. The process of rhythmic contraction of muscular wall of esophagus, which helps to move down the food particles from esophagus into stomach, is called peristalsis. The fourth part of the alimentary canal is called stomach. Stomach is a large, curved, J-shaped, wide and elastic sac. It is found on the left side of the abdominal cavity. The stomach consists two parts, cardiac part and pyloric part. The cardiac part of stomach, which is again divided into fundus and body. Fundus, which is the upper and broad part of the stomach. Body, which is the middle part of the stomach, and pyloric, which is the lower part of stomach. The cardiac stomach has an cardiac sphincter and pyloric stomach, which has pyloric sphincter. Stomach openings are guarded by with the rings of muscles called sphincter. The cardiac sphincter, which is found in between esophagus and stomach, and it controls the food particle between esophagus and stomach. Similarly, the pyloric sphincter present in between stomach and duodenum, it controls the food particle in between them. The stomach wall, which consists tubular gastric glands and they produce gastric juice, consists hydrochloric acid, pepsinogen and mucus. The food particle in the stomach, which changes into semi-digested food, called chyme. The next part of the alimentary canal is small intestine. Small intestine, which is the longest coiling part of the alimentary canal. It is differentiated into three parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Duodenum, which is a C-shaped curved tube, and it receives bile from gallbladder and pancreatic juice from pancreas by a common hepatopancreatic duct. The common hepatopancreatic duct is guarded by a sphincter called sphincter of Oddi. The jejunum, which is derived from the Latin word and it means empty. It is the middle part of the small intestine, which is always found empty after death. It only helps to conduct the food particle duodenum to ileum. Ileum is highly coiling part of the small intestine and it is also known as the longest part of the intestine. It has large and thick-walled villi, which increase the surface area of ileum for absorption. It consists prayers patches on the wall and they serve to fight against infection producing lymphocytes. The Peyer's patches which becomes inflammation or ulceration due to the cause of typhoid. The large intestine, it is a short as well as wider than small intestine. It is divided into cecum, colon and rectum. Cecum, which is a pouch-like structure. The ileum, which is linked with cecum by a ileocecal junction. The ileocecal junction has valves that prevents the backward flow of the food particles into small intestine. The vermiform appendix is a blind tube found at one end of the cecum, which is known as a vestigial organ of human being. Colon, which looks like an inverted U-tube, and it is divided into ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid colon. The sigmoid colon, which acts as a reservoir of feces. The rectum, which is the muscular straight terminal part of large intestine, and it leads outside through anus. The terminal anal opening, which is guarded by an external and internal anal sphincter, which prevents the leakage of feces. Thank you for watching.